Mr. Harris here, and welcome to a new video of chapter 10.3. In this video, we're going to talk about the structure of our ear. So first off, you can look at this picture over here. I suppose you're doing the same by watching this video right now. You're using your headphones or earphones, or even you're using your speaker. That is totally fine. My question for you for this video is, how is our ear able to detect sound? And to answer this question, we'll first need to learn about the structure of our ear. Okay, so our ear, let's divide them into three parts. We have the outer ear, the middle ear, and the inner ear. So in the outer ear, we have the pinna over here. This is called the pinna, the outer part. All right, inside you have the ear canal, which is this area over here. Okay, and you also have the eardrum, which is this part over here. You have ear bones, which is this part over here. You have semicircular canals. Okay, this is more towards the inner part of the ear. You have the cochlea, and finally you have the auditory nerve. So let's see in details, what do these structures actually, what are their functions? So first off, how do we hear? How do we hear? Not ear. How do we hear? Okay, this is a tongue twister. Sound in the surroundings is collected by the pinna over here. Okay, remember, this indicates that there are vibrations. So sound in the surroundings is collected by the pinna. Afterwards, the sound travels along the ear canal and hits the eardrum over here. Okay, and afterwards, the sound causes the eardrum to vibrate. Okay, the eardrum will vibrate over here. The ear bones, they will amplify the vibrations. Amplify meaning you can say they would magnify. Just make it larger, or make the vibrations louder, larger. So that's the meaning of amplify. The ear bones will amplify the vibrations of the eardrum and pass them on to the inner part of the ear. Okay? In the inner part of the ear, we have the cochlea, of course. There are specialized sensory cells in the cochlea for detecting these kind of vibrations. And what happens is the vibrations from the ear bones would stimulate these specialized sensory cells, and these cells will then send out messages through the auditory nerve. And finally, the messages are sent along this nerve to the brain for interpretation. So you may notice that it is very similar to what we've learned for the structure of the eye. In the eye, we had the optic nerve, which would send messages to the brain for interpretation. The same thing over here for the ear. In this case, we have the auditory nerve. Okay, please make sure that you could relate what you have learned and apply it in the new topics that you would learn, of course. So the messages would be sent along the auditory nerve to the brain for interpretation. So now let me go through these steps again, but a bit quicker. So first off, of course, we'll need to hear sound, and which will be collected by the pinna. The sound will travel through the ear canal and would hit the eardrum. And afterwards, the eardrum would, of course, the sound would cause the eardrum to vibrate, and the ear bones that are present in the middle ear, they would amplify the vibrations and pass them on to the inner part of the ear, where the cochlea, they have these specialized sensory cells. They could detect these vibrations to send messages to our brain through the auditory nerve. Okay, guys, make sure that you understand this 6-step process. Keep going through them. Eventually, you'll understand the whole process better. Of course, I'll explain this further in class, so you can always come back to this video and to understand better. All right, so let's see whether we could, once we've learned about this, let's see whether we could match the structures of the ear with their functions. So first off, we have the auditory nerve. So what's the function of the auditory nerve? Of course, as we've learned already just now, the auditory nerve, it sends messages from the specialized sensory cells to the brain. So the answer is number 4. How about for ear bones? What do the ear bones do? Remember, they amplify the vibrations of the eardrums and pass them on to the inner part of the ear, to the inner ear. So for B, the answer is number 1. For C, cochlea, what's its function? The cochlea contains specialized sensory cells for detecting vibrations. Let's see D, the eardrum. What's the function of the eardrum? Let's see, it should vibrate. Let's see, which one is it? Over here, number 5. It vibrates when sound reaches it. For E, we have the ear canal. That is the passageway. For example, we have our ear and there's a canal over here. Okay, let's see. The ear canal, what's its function? It should be sound travels along it to the eardrum. Finally, we have the pinna, and this should be the easiest one because we have one option remaining, which is number 3. It collects sound from the surroundings. Okay, so this wraps up this video on the structure of our ear. The structure names, of course, we learned pinna, ear canal, eardrum, cochlea, ear bones, and the auditory nerve. Make sure you know their names, their spellings, and their functions. All right, so this is the end of this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.